Did I mention that zip drives weren't very reliable? Ooh, it's making zip drive sound. It does not like this disk. Okay, this is a brand new 100 megabyte zip disk. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now, so help me. This is the smallest CF card I could find, 512 megs. Press copy. No response. My goodness.
I think it's fair to say that the iomega Fotoshow featured in a recent Action Retro video didn't make the best showing. I happen to own one of these quirky units too, and I've been meaning to dive into its features and operation in a video. I picked this unit up a year or two ago at the flea market for $5 with a power brick, AV cables, and a 250 megabyte zip disk originally packaged with it. The remote was missing, so I bought one on eBay for an additional $7. I'm familiar with various zip drives, but I'd not seen one with card readers and AV ports, so I was curious to tinker with it. The Fotoshow has both composite and S-video outputs. I'm using the S-video for a cleaner, clearer picture on the TV. Nice that iomega decided to include a better quality option. Initially, I thought the video out was broken because nothing happens after inserting a zip disk. I did a little research and found out that the remote is a necessary component to use the video functionality of the Fotoshow. Without it, it's just a USB zip drive. I'm starting off with a test of the Fotoshow using the included zip disk, just to make sure mine hasn't gone gremlin mode. The previous owner had removed the demo photos album to reuse the disc for their own photos. Looks like everything is working fine so far. Let's try a fresh 250 megabyte zip disk. I was curious if the drive needs to do its own initialization on the disk before use, but no, it just reads and is ready to use. I enjoy collecting digital cameras and have several that use CF media. As a result of buying used cameras, I ended up with plenty of CF cards in various sizes. I've picked out these 4 sizes, one that's smaller than the 250 megabyte zip disk, the 2 sizes that Sean tried in his video, and a 4 gigabyte card. So let's try the copy function that was giving Sean so many headaches. This Canon G2 hit the market about 1 year after the Fotoshow. This 64 megabyte card has a few photos on it taken with the camera. The copy light blinks a few times and looks like it's ready. On screen, there's a countdown giving you an option to back out before the copy starts. And away we go. The clicking noise is not from the zip drive, it's a ticking noise from this software, I guess to let you know it is doing something. Just 4 photos to copy for a start. After processing, a happy chime sounds and the first photo shows up in the oval on screen. Let's see that in full screen. I imagine if many of these things were used, it was likely without sound. The click noise is not bad for feedback, but I couldn't imagine sitting through a presentation or at home flipping through albums with a chime for each reveal. Next, let's try this 512 megabyte Lexar CF card to see if it will work. There's 28 photos on the card taken with an 8 megapixel Nikon Coolpix 8700 that was released in 2004. Each photo is a 2.8 megabyte JPEG. Photos this size take about 45 seconds per image to process, and with 28 files, the whole thing takes a little over 20 minutes. Guess I should find something to do while I wait. I tried this same process with 16 files at about half a megabyte each, and this finished in less than 5 minutes. So the amount of waiting is dependent on the file sizes. What about a 1 gigabyte CF card? 28 photos taken with the Canon 20D but edited in Lightroom and sized down from the original 8 megapixel RAW files to about half a megabyte JPEGs. This time it took about 4 minutes to copy the files. What about a 4 gigabyte card? Got a red light this time. And on screen I get an error message when pressing the copy button. I don't have a 2 gigabyte card handy, but my guess is the software hardware is limited to 2 gigabytes or less. I saw some speculation and comments about needing FAT16 formatting. That may be the case. I should also mention there's a selective copy feature that works by pressing the back button at the copy screen. Instead of copying everything from the CF card, you now get a grid showing all the photos on the card. They are all selected by default, and pressing the C button deselects. I've selected 2 photos this time. Let's press the Go button to start. A few moments later and done. I did test copying photos without using the video interface. Pressing the copy button starts the process right away instead of a countdown. When the green light goes off, it's done. It took about half the time to copy versus using the video interface. However, when starting up the video, the software recognizes new files are on the disk and starts processing. Save some time now, spend some time later, basically. Is there any difference when using a 100 megabyte zip disk? The drive is backwards compatible with the 100 meg disks, but the manual states that the write speed is significantly reduced. What I noticed right away is the copy did take double the time or more to copy over the same 28 files, and the processing was slower. It took about 10 minutes to copy the same files that only took 4 minutes with the 250 megabyte disk. However, navigating the photos in the interface seemed about the same speed. Let's check out some other features. There's a list of background colors to choose from and apply to each album. The colors range from pleasing to not pleasing, but someone somewhere used it. There's a photo editing feature accessed by pressing the Edit button on the remote. The edit screen has a list of common options. Rotating a photo is quick. Autofix tries to optimize the brightness, contrast, color balance, and saturation. A monochrome photo probably wasn't the best test. There's also a cropping tool. The A and B buttons control the cropping box size, but its ratio is locked. C button switches the box between landscape and portrait. The arrow buttons move the box around. Let's just crop this section.
Enhance 224 to 176.
There's also photo effects, black and white, sepia, posterize, and various tints to apply. I'll apply an orange tint. Pretty quick. Let's just save this masterpiece. There's an option to overwrite the original or save a copy. This would be torture to edit in a large batch of photos, but fine for fixing a photo or two.
Yeah, but how do I get out of it? How do I get out of it? Album. Oh my god.
To leave the edit screen, press the album button. Can't forget creating albums. Let's add photos to the Cool Pics album. The C button selects and deselects photos. The Go button adds them to the album. I did discover this isn't duplicating photos. If you delete a photo from any album, it is deleted from the disk and all albums. Slideshow time. The pictures cycle in order on a continuous loop and random transition effects are applied. Now let's talk about using the Fotoshow with a computer. Let me just get one set up. I think this will work. I have already installed a version of iomega that would have been packaged with this drive. It's not surprising the zip drive shows up in the File Explorer. What is surprising to me is that there's no card reader drives. It seems like an oversight on the design to not have this drive function as both a zip drive and a card reader via USB. What's more, when the drive is in USB mode, none of the other functions are enabled. Inserting a CF card, you can see that the light blinks a few times and is ready, but pressing the copy button does nothing. Likewise, the drive will not power on the video interface. So yeah, when plugged into a PC, the Fotoshow is just a regular 250 megabyte zip drive. I think that covers the main features of the Fotoshow. In all honesty, I could see this thing being used in an office or hotel conference room, on a CRT or projector, to roll through photos. It's pretty simple to set up and operate, especially compared to a computer of the era. It could have replaced the old carousel slide projectors for family gatherings as well. Very compact and again, easy to use. Everyone knows how to use a remote. Photographers on a budget would definitely find the copy feature and cheaper media useful. I remember being in the exact position of having 2 full memory cards in 2001 on a weekend trip and no way to offload the photos. Today, this is just a piece of odd hardware to play with and enjoy for its little spot in history. I'm happy I could share a better working example of one with you all here. If you hung around to this point, I want to say thank you for watching the video. If you like what you saw, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Did you ever use the iomega Fotoshow or know someone who did? Or maybe you found a fun and creative use for this device. In either case, I'd be interested to hear your stories, so feel free to share in the comments below. Also, I'd like to extend a big thanks to Sean at Action Retro.